Hello and welcome to my Everything I Knit in the month of July. I cannot believe that it is August already. Like, I don't know where the last month went. Craziness. It turns out I haven't actually knit as much as I thought I was going to knit, but I didn't do too bad in the end, to be completely honest. So again, this is a whole other format, mostly because I don't have the items that I knit with me. Not just with me, but also because they're not mine anymore for a lot of the cases. So I've gotten rid of a few, and there's some that are just sitting there still waiting to come together. Anyway, the first thing that I knit in the month of July was the man socks that I'll put in a picture here. Now, these socks are made for my partner, and he is now wearing them on a rotation. The pattern for them is up on my website, and I'll put a link in it in the description down below. So that's a free pattern. You're welcome to go and make giant large man socks for yourself. If there's like a demand for it, because it's been a relatively popular pattern so far, I will pop the I'll work the pattern into different sizes rather than just being large man socks. It's made out of the opal sock wool, and it's the DK weight. I got it from Good Wool Hunting when I went to Capital Fibre Fest. Link in the card. Probably if I forget, I'll probably forget to put a link in the card. But I went to Capital Fibre Fest. I got 2 balls of the yarn. I made him a pair of socks. I still haven't made my pair of socks. That's on the cards for things that are coming up. Then the next thing I made, and finished that is this tiny baby vest here. Okay, it still doesn't have buttons on it because I have to go out to the container to get blue buttons and put the buttons on it. Although I've just had a genius thought, maybe they're not going to be blue buttons after all. So what I made this for is, I made this to give to a friend of mine. She's having a wee boy, and she'll be having her last day at work tomorrow. Yeah, there's nothing quite like getting a wee interruption. What was I saying? So then I made this tiny vest. I'm very happy with the way the basket weave turned out. I was going to make a different vest, but the pattern that I bought ended up being for DK weight baby yarn. And I don't think that newborn babies suit DK weight yarn. It just seems a bit too chunky on them. Maybe bigger babies, but not just little teeny tiny babies. So I was making the pattern, so it's a newborn size pattern, and it's one piece. I have not finished typing up the pattern, but when I do, I will get that uploaded on my website as well. That'll be free. Then I made matching baby booties, because last month I made a lot of booties. So now I've got a basket weave bootie. Now the reason why I did the booties was that there was still yarn left over from the original ball from making the vest. And I wanted to know whether or not there was enough in one ball of yarn to make a vest and a pair of baby booties, because that makes it quite cost effective if you've one ball of yarn, because baby yarn is not cheap. And it did, so that played out. So there's these little booties as well. Then what did I make? I have been crocheting. I'm a crocheter now. My partner's mother had her birthday, so I crocheted a half a dozen daffodils, because I had some of my daffodils flowering and she did not. So now she's got half a dozen flowering daffodils in her peace lily plant. What else did I make? I think that may be all the things I finished. Yeah, no, that's not all the things I finished. I am now just going back through all of my things to work out exactly what I did do. I also made this teeny tiny unicorn. Because of crochet, I'm a crocheter now. So I made this teeny tiny unicorn. It was a pattern from Skein Spider here on YouTube. I'll link it below. Fabulous pattern, because I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I was able to make the unicorn. What else did I make in the month of July? Are they the only things that I finished? Oh, and this turtle. I made an amigurumi turtle. The turtle pattern was a Franken pattern, really. It came from a whole stack of different sources, but basically it's a sphere and 4 circles folded in half, and then a half sphere with a bit of an edge, and then cobbled together the underneath. Don't look at the underneath of my turtle. The underneath of my turtle is not looking good. But I made a turtle. Those are all the things I completed in the month of July. I mostly spent the month of July working on the Stephen West Contrast Blast socks. I had hoped I would finish them because part 4 came out last Thursday, but I got sidetracked. Oh, with another project. There's one other project that is finished and the pattern will be released. Might be released tomorrow. Might be released the same day as this video. It all depends on how things get edited. If it's released, I will pop it in the description down below. Anyway, I was working on the Contrast Blast socks. Those are not finished yet, but my progress as of the end of July will be in this image here, or this video, and I will have a video on making the socks coming up because it actually was a lot of fun, even though I made the wrong size socks. Yes, and I think I made a comment about it when I first started, that this is the point where I fuck it up. And I did. So there's some changes to the socks over the pattern. Yeah, it's just, I should have read the instructions. Well, I should have followed the instructions because I read the instructions. I should have followed the instructions. The other thing I made was a set of lobster claw arm warmers, and those are going to a friend of mine as soon as I've finished writing up the pattern. I got a request on the website because my lobster claw beanie pattern has been very popular over the last few years. It's one of those ponytail beanies with cables on it. So that's been up there. It's been a popular pattern. Lots of people have made it. And someone said, do I have a pattern for arm warmers to go along with it? I said, no, but I have been working on arm warmer patterns. I've been working on mitten patterns for the last year. So I put some together. So there should be coming up shortly 2 patterns for these arm warmers. There'll be a flat version and a circular version if you prefer knitting in the round or knitting flat. Both are just as easy. I think it's faster to knit the flat one, but then you've got to seam it, so it really doesn't save you much time in the long run. Yeah, so the lobster claw arm warmer pattern will be up, and I made this out of Skeins Moorpork. Skeins Flight Natural in the colour Moorpork, I think it is. It's leftover yarn from a baby blanket that I made in April, May and June, because that's how long it took me to make a baby blanket. And I think that's all I've managed to make. There's a lot of froggy bits that have happened this month. I've frogged a lot of things. I have also been working on my Stevie jumper, and I've been working on designing another adult size vest, but I have not really finished either of those. I haven't even finished the body of the Stevie jumper yet. When I finish the body of it, I think I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to keep going with it. My upcoming plans, other than finishing off the arm warmer thing, is I need to work on some slippers and a vest. Those are urgent, and the Stevie jumper will take a sideline. And so that's everything that I made in the month of July. Will I get more done in the month of August? Probably not. August is chaos. But I will finish the Contrast Blast socks, and I will finish the Contrast Blast socks. That's about all I'm going to commit to for August, and we'll see how we go. But I need to start knitting some other things because I have a market coming up. Well, my sister's doing a market, and she wants my dad to do a market, so I said I'll do some market-y things too. So I'll see what I can put together. Not sure what I'm going to put in this market yet. I've got a couple of ideas, but it's just a little market, and it should be fun. So there might be some market-y things coming up. Yeah, in the meantime, thanks for watching and take care.